Hello and welcome to this video on Imperator Rome. In this video, I'm going to show you the advantages of a migrating tribe. Migrating tribes are usually considered to be at the end of the spectrum. They are the least civilized, and you are supposed to have a lot of disadvantages because of that. But I'm going to show you in this video how they can actually be surprisingly powerful and maybe easier to get a higher level of civilization and technology than even republics or monarchies. Okay, so let me start to show you the first advantages of the migratory tribe. The first thing that you have is this ability to migrate and settle. Okay, so this is a migratory tribe, and I'm going to settle these 11 people in this territory. This is a territory that I conquered recently, and you can see here that 10 people from here are from not my culture and 11 are from my culture. Okay, once the month passes, as you can see, the culture updated, and now that the culture updated, I'm going to take these units away, and as you can see, there were 10 people that were not from my culture there. Now all that I have is this migratory horde that is both from my culture and religion. Now I can repeat this again here and integrate even more people into my culture. Nobody else has this insanely quick way of integrating people into your own culture and religion. So let me see, I can get one more. And here it is. Basically, I am creating a bigger amount of migratory units, and I am slowly emptying this new province out of people, which I intend to bring all of them to my capital eventually. And I am at the same time leaving behind mostly people from my own culture. A province with almost no people is very easy to handle, and they will eventually assimilate easily into my own culture. And at the same time, I'm going to send these people all the way here. I have already one here, and I'm going to settle them right in my capital. Just to give you an example, I have settled these ones. What is the advantage of putting everybody in your capital? Well, your capital is by far the most productive territory of your empire because you have 25% bonus for being your capital region, 25 for being your capital province, and 25 for being your capital territory. In this case, I created the capital in Londino. It used to be here, but I prefer much this place. I will make another video explaining all the details, but basically Londino has a lot of advantages for allowing more population. Okay. So what I've done basically here is added a lot of people into my capital. As you can see here, I have 3,200 people in my empire, and in my capital alone I have over 1,000. So basically 1/3 of my total population is just there in this territory, which gives you completely insane bonuses. First of all, every month one of these tribesmen promotes to freeman, or a freeman promotes to citizen. Very slowly, much slower. Actually, 10% is not so slow, but it's slow. Some tribesmen get into slaves. I have this huge bottleneck here. You see, I have 25% of my population as tribesmen, while the desired ratio is 3. This is actually quite good because it prevents slaves from promoting. As you can see here, I have slaves from all kinds of cultures, and you don't want to have such a diverse group of people promoting into your capital. They are much more vulnerable to aggressive expansion and other modifiers. So I prefer to have most of them of my own culture. Every now and then someone migrated on their own volition and then they became a citizen eventually, but it's mostly okay. You can see here this Hibernian has a little bit less happiness than the rest ones, and but as a freeman they have even less. So you have to try to avoid that as much as possible. And with this amount of tribesmen here, no slave will get promoted because first the city has to set right all this huge amount of tribesmen. As you can see here, I built an insane level of academies here, so I have 1/3 of my population with a huge output multiplied lately by more than 300% the research points. So that ends up on me having, it says here 300, but it's closer to 400. I mean, 300 is the top, so I will not get any farther than that. But that means that I could still get a lot more people, and I could get even 1,000 more population, and my research rate will still stay in 300. My research rate is still increasing. As you can see, I can get 10% more citizens. So it will slowly increase over time even more. I can make even 7 more buildings, so I can make even more academies for it to keep increasing. So that way I can keep technologically much more advanced than anyone else. Let's take a look to some other empires as a comparison. So Macedon has 8 of each tech. Phrygia has not so good. Let's see, Carthage 5. Let's see something small like Athens. Athens has 13 of everything, which is a lot. Usually small countries and city-states get a higher level of technology because it's easier to maintain. Let's see how much I have. I have 16 of everything. So I have much more even than Athens and anybody else. So this is brutally effective. And well, as you can see, I have a pretty, not extremely high, but I have some high aggressive expansion, but that doesn't almost affect me because most of my people are from my own culture. Okay, so I believe that this mechanic is really a bit OP. It does cost you some stability, but stability grows quite fast again. In fact, at this moment in this particular game, I'm slowly trying to raise my centralization level because I want to try to get eventually all these laws over here. But I think the best way is to just try to keep centralization at 0. As you can see, for instance, let's see here, or let's try here. I will just give me just a second. So here, you see the cost of this is 7.10 of centralization, which is quite high. If you get centralization down to -100, then the cost goes much lower, and you can get this down for only 4 centralization, for only 4 stability, which I think is useful if you're planning to expand more on that. Well, just a detail, I want to show you that basically at this point my expansion is driven mostly by my need of food. I call it the fish wars because I want to I'm basically trying to get as much food as possible in order to keep the increasing level of population in my capital. As long as I keep bringing more and more people into my capital and building more and more academies, then I can expand as much as I want and still be with a really good research rate. So now I'm going to explain a few other advantages of the migratory tribe. This is not something only for migratory tribes, but it's all kind of tribes have retinues, which are basically free armies. You do have a big disadvantage in fact that your army has 50% more maintenance cost, but to compensate that you get this huge amount of free troops. So this is 38 corps. I can select the composition of these corps. Okay, so I put them all in heavy infantry because it's just the most powerful unit that I have. And I can send these people to constantly die. I can send them to fight battles that I know I will lose almost all of them. I can do whatever I want. I can assault forts. I can do anything. And they will just grow back. And not only they will grow back, I can, since they're free of maintenance, I have absolutely no problem activating this. So basically, they recover faster, they recover their morale faster and all, and I absolutely no penalty. And once a clan chief dies, they leave behind the whole retinue as regular troops. I actually most of the times disband this because I have absolutely no use for more troops. As you can see, I'm already at my top of manpower because I just don't use it. So I'm going to disband it. The only problem with this is the cost of money. You even get some manpower back out of this. So if I had a big army, I could do it. I only keep this small army here, and I keep them with experience pretty much close to the maximum in order to get further experience. Now it went down a bit, probably just because I had this empty troop. You have just to check regularly that you don't have any empty regular troop. And also they are another advantage of this is, as I said before, you can reorganize them for free and you can build roads without paying any extra maintenance. The only maintenance that you pay is just because of the leader, but it's really not much. Going back now to the migratory units, they are also free of maintenance. So they are really good to use as police in the territories that you just took them away from. As you can see here, there's a high level of unrest in this province, but if I do this, now the own people are policing this. This is completely free, and you can also set them to train. Also, these units don't count for the military experience, same as the retinues, they don't count, so you don't need to have them at a high level. You can also use them for roads. It's a good idea to make roads to connect all your empire quite well, especially if it's cheaper. I mean, it's easier to make roads with a tribe than it is to make it with a republic, unless you're Roman maybe. Migratory tribes also have the pillage option that allows you to get extra money and political power when you occupy some enemy land, which is, I think, a very powerful mechanic. As you can see, I have a lot of political power because I've been pillaging everything that I get. So, I hope you enjoyed this, and please make any comments or notes. Everything is appreciated. Like if you liked, and well, until the next time.